Hey, what is up, guys? It is Baseball Noto 5, and today we are doing the first podcast of many that I hope to do during the baseball off-season and during the baseball season for the years to come. We are calling this the DingerNation Podcast. So, I hope you guys enjoy this first episode. So, it is January 24th, 2017 when I'm recording this, but this probably won't go up until the 25th or maybe even the 26th if I'm real busy, but, alright. So, a few topics that I'm going to talk about in this video is what I thought of the Hall of Fame induction, and who I was surprised that didn't get in, or who I was surprised that got in. Another thing is baseball mourning to the loss a few days ago of Yordano Ventura and Andy Marte. I'm going to be talking about that, and I will also be talking about what rookie stars, or at least young stars, look like they're going to become legends, if not Hall of Famers, at some point during their lifetime. So, we're going to be talking about those three things, and maybe a few more things, hidden in there, but, alright, so, let's get to the first thing. The Hall of Fame induction, that happened about a week ago. Of course, Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, and Pudge Rodriguez was inducted into the Hall, and I can't really complain about my picks. I did not pick Tim Raines on my ballot, and I was absolutely shocked to not see Vladimir Guerrero get into the Hall. Like, it almost doesn't make sense to me that Vlad didn't get in the Hall, because Vladimir Guerrero, there were some guys on the ballot that, have been known for being riddled with steroids and PEDs. For example, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and I think Mike Mussina. No, that's not right. I don't think he took steroids, but Bonds, Sosa, Sheffield was clean, I think, and Manny Ramirez. So those guys were those were the quote-unquote Hall of Famers that were on the ballot, and I wasn't surprised that, Sosa and stuff like that. Sosa only got 8% of the votes, and Barry Bonds got over 50% of the votes. That really surprises me. Yes, he is a home run king with 762 home runs, but if you voted for Bonds, you're basically ignoring the fact that during his entire career, he had used steroids and PEDs. Do you think he just ate 2 Big Macs a day once he got to the Giants? Seriously. That's just not normal weight gain. That is steroid use. So, yeah. So, I am really shocked that he was even on the ballot. I understand, Hank Aaron's a Hall of Famer. He was a home run king for a while, about 30 years, and he was a Hall of Famer, almost inducted right away, I think, in his first year of eligibility. But, really? Barry Bonds? You're basically ignoring the fact that he took PEDs throughout his entire career, or steroids, to be more exact. It's fun watching Barry Bonds hit home runs, but remember, if Barry Bonds never took steroids, then his entire career would have been almost unrecognized at all, because if you take a look at his Pirates stats, they're not too great, and, it's kind of shocking to see how much of a career can be affected by using steroids or PEDs. If you don't use steroids, it depends on your natural skill of baseball. Like I said before, Barry Bonds was probably not that great of a baseball player before he took steroids. It just doesn't make sense to me how people still managed to vote for him on the ballot. I can never imagine seeing guys like Sosa, Bonds, and Clemens in the Hall of Fame. I can't see that. There's no way is that happening. No way. No way is that happening. So, two guys that I am sure will get in next year is Trevor Hoffman and Vladimir Guerrero. So, Hoffman, of course, he has 600 saves, I think. No, he's close to it. But Trevor Hoffman, he went in the Padres for most of his career, or the majority of his career. Trevor Hoffman, I can officially say, he is one of the greatest closers of all time. He has a nice strikeout pitch. He's a great closer, because all closers, you're not gonna have a bad closer. Unless if you're a team like the Phillies or something who has Genmar Gomez and David Hernandez as their closer at times, your team is expected to have a good closer. The Orioles have Britton, the Red Sox have Kimbrel, the Yankees have Chapman, and sometimes it doesn't have to be a superstar of a closer, like the Rays have Alex Colomé or Brad Boxberger. They have those guys, but really, you don't need a superstar closer, but yet again, you don't need a dumpster to try to get 3 outs, okay? But Hoffman was one of the greatest closers of all time. He pitched for a long time, and I think he will get into the Hall in 2018. Once again, I said Vladimir Guerrero. Once again, I don't know what cap he could wear if he got in, which he should, but I think he would either choose an Expos cap or either an Expos cap or an Angels cap. I can't see him using any other thing, but either an Expos or an Angels cap. So so I think they're gonna get in. Oh yes, another guy who will most certainly, I can say, in his first year of the eligibility, and I don't know if everybody's going to agree with me on this, but this guy's got to make it into the Hall as fast as possible. You know who I'm talking about? Larry Wayne, a.k.a. Chipper Jones. Yes, I am a huge fan of Chipper Jones. I think he's one of the best third baseman to ever play the game. According to Baseball Reference, if this page wasn't actually running so slow. He hit a total of 468 home runs, and over 162 games, averaged 30 home runs and 105 RBIs. That just shows how good he was. Even in his last year, he still managed to hit 14 home runs over 112 games and still bat .287 with only having 51 strikeouts. Yeah, he averaged less than 100 strikeouts per year. If you're one of those guys who can average less than 100 strikeouts per year, you're doing a good thing. So that is very good. He averaged 36 doubles, about 2 triples. He only had 38 triples in his entire career. He averaged about 10 stolen bases, and caught about 3 times, So, even his 162 game average, it says he has 688 at-bats during that season, so Chipper Jones is a very good player, and I definitely, most certainly think that he will actually get back into the majors. I mean, he will get back. He will get into the Hall. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. So yeah, so my picks for 2018 getting into Hall is going to be Chipper Jones, Trevor Hoffman, and Vladimir Guerrero. I don't really see any other guys that possibly have a shot at getting in. If Tim Raines didn't get in this year, he would have never been in the Hall of Fame, because they reduced it from 10 years to 15 years of eligibility. So that's kind of what happened. So, on to our next topic, a really sad topic. Baseball mourning the loss of Andy Marte and most certainly Yordano Ventura. My goodness, this is absolutely really, really sad. So, if you guys didn't hear, Yordano Ventura and Andy Marte passed away on Sunday, I believe. Yeah, on Sunday, and they both were in car crashes hours apart. And once again, like I said, they were car crashes. They were from the Dominican Republic. Yordano Ventura was known as the Royals ace, and he passed away at the age of 25. Now, I forget where I found this post, but I just gotta look it up real quick. So, this is from KansasCity.com, and it was released just yesterday about more details from his thing. So, that's not actually what I was looking for. So, this is according to Fox News. And if you're like really squeamish, or if you not really if you're squeamish, but more if you like if you like don't like hearing really sad stories, then just don't, put your headphones aside, start listening to different music. But this is what happened. So, it says Kansas City Royals pitcher Yordano Ventura was robbed and left to die after the car accident in the Dominican Republic that took his life on Sunday, former MLB star and Yordano's compatriot Pedro Martinez said. In a series of Monday night tweets, the Hall of Famer demanded an investigation on the matter and said that he would be embarrassed of his country if the robbery report was confirmed. How outrageous to know that a life like Yordano's could have been saved if it had not been looted in the way they looted him, said the three-time Cy Young Award winner. Reportedly, Ventura passed away after his vehicle veered off the road, reportedly due to heavy fog. And Martinez wrote, "Now it is more painful to know that Yordano was alive after the accident, and instead of being rescued, they robbed him and let him die." And another source from another website, I forget which one it was, but it had said that that instead of trying to help him, they had started to rob him, and someone even took his 2015 Kansas City World Series ring. So somebody has that right now. I don't know if they have been arrested. I don't know if they've been caught. But I just gotta say this. I saw this comment on one of the Instagram posts for from Everything MLB, which is a great news source for the MLB. But I gotta find a comment. Yeah, I just gotta find it. Alright, that's not it. Sorry about the bit of silence here. Alright, I don't know where it went. Oh, it was on a Marte post. I forgot that was on So Niza Vinez says, in a country where traffic laws are not enforced, and where men with power and status think they are invincible, death is always around the corner. People in the Dominican Republic party and drink like there's no tomorrow, and they speed everywhere even if there's no rush to get anywhere. I'm not saying Andy Marte was drinking and driving, but he could have been another victim of it. So, that kind of tells you something. Like, you know that a lot of the players came from, the Caribbean countries. As we found out a few months ago, Jose Fernandez, the superstar future Hall of Famer pitcher that was going to be the next Nolan Ryan, I swear, he passed away in a boating accident at the age of 25, I believe. And it was really sad because we thought that he had been completely innocent because he hadn't had a history of, doing that. And it's a really courageous story, and it's a really heartwarming story. Not really heartwarming, but it's a story of bravery for Jose Fernandez. Because he, when he was 15, tried to defect from Cuba 3 times, getting thrown in jail each time, and then finally escaped, and he also saved his mother from drowning. Like, that's absolutely crazy. And then for him to die in a boating accident at the age of 25, after having such a short but memorable MLB career. And then we found out a few months ago that Jose Fernandez had actually drank and he had actually used cocaine. And Oscar Taveras, he was in a car crash, and we still don't know if he was a victim of drunk driving, if he was drunk driving himself. And we just don't know. But my point is that a lot of people, I guess you could say, they kind of just party like there's no tomorrow. Like, I'm not saying that all the people from the Dominican Republic do, but when you've got a lot of money like that in a poor country like the Dominican Republic, I think I shouldn't be bashed for saying that the Dominican Republic is a poor country. It has been proven as fact that the Dominican Republic isn't the wealthiest of countries. And, they actually, I forget who said this. I think my Spanish teacher said this, that they actually asked their country, if they could have them back so they could have extra support. Like, that's basically asking for a piggyback ride that you just got. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. They weren't really in the best shape. They haven't been in the best shape. And, and that's why so many people from the Dominican Republic, either if it's Cuba, from the Dominican Republic itself, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from Panama, I can name pretty much all the countries in South and Central America, but really, I think that it's kind of because they're rich, but the rest of the country's poor. Because Fernandez made a lot of money, Ventura made a lot of money, Taveras, although he was a rookie, he made a lot of money too. So, I don't really know what to say. Once again, I'm not saying that they did it because of that. It may have been an entire other reason. But yeah, so basically that's kind of what happened. Like, they kind of had a lot of money, so once again, I'm not saying that that's what they did. I'm just saying I'm just trying to get a point across. All right, so moving on to the next story. we are talking about, oh yeah, rookie stars. Rookie stars who might become superstars. Or have become already superstars. So, let's start this off by talking about Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez, I think it wasn't really a coincidence that he hit 20 home runs in September in 2016. Like, not even most catchers can't even hit 20 home runs in an entire season. And yet again, he was able to hit 20. Like, that's Gary Carter stuff. So, I think I can say, if this guy can hit 20 home runs in the span of maybe 1.5 months, I don't know when he was called up from AAA, maybe AAA Scranton, who actually went on to be the AAA champions without Sanchez, but basically, like, I can say this right now. Gary Sanchez is the next Gary Carter. See, you see that kind of segue there? So, that's kind of great. Who are some other good, young guys who I think are actually going to do well? Well, one of the guys who is definitely going to have a successful career, to say the least, I'm going to say is Kenta Maeda. Now, Maeda, he made his rookie year. I believe he was an opening day call-up. He is from Osaka, Japan, and he is 28. So, you know, Koji Uehara, who is 43 now, yes, he is as old as Bartolo. He actually, what do you call it? He basically, he pitched in Japan for a while, Koji Uehara, and he actually, he made it to the majors in 2009 when he was signed by the Orioles as a free agent. So, in 2016, wait for this, Maeda was 16-11 with a 3.48 ERA, only gave up 150 hits and had 179 strikeouts, and he was third in the Rookie of the Year voting. That kind of tells you something. He only gave up 20 home runs, and he only gave up 68 earned runs. So, to say the least, Kenta Maeda, I think, is going to become a superstar, and he's going to become the next, he's going to become the second best guy that we're going to be talking about all the time. Like, nowadays, we're talking about Mike Trout, Clayton Kershaw, Bryce Harper, I don't know, Barry Bonds or something, but I think he's going to be one of those guys that we'll start talking about, like, all the time, because he's going to become that good of a pitcher. So, I definitely think that he's going to become one of those guys that we'll be talking about for years and years on end. So, next guy that we're going to be talking about is also a pitcher. If this page could load, because I'm using Baseball Reference and stuff. Oh, darn, how did I spell it wrong? Alright, just give me a second here. I should have loaded all the pages before I did that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so the next guy we're going to be talking about is Jose Barrios. Now, he is from Baymon, Puerto Rico. He did go 3-7 with a 8.02 ERA. He only played 14 games, but I do think that this guy has quite a bit potential. Like, if we take a look here. So, let's look at his minor league stats, okay? So, rated by MLB.com, pre-2016, he was the number 19 prospect. According to Baseball America, he was the 28th prospect, top 28th prospect. And according to Baseball Prospect US, he's number 17. So, in Rochester in 2016, he went 10-5 with a 2.51 ERA, striking out 125 hitters. Like, that just... Like, what? What? How? How did that happen? Like, even when he was in the Arizona Fall League, he still went 3-0 with an ERA under 2. Like, his major league stats may have not been great, but if you look at his minor league stats, that shows that he has some potential to be a superstar. So, next guy we're going to talk about, A.J. Reed. So, A.J. Reed, I think he's going to become a great first baseman for the Astros. He is from Terre Haute, Illinois. He is from Illinois. 45 games, 3 home runs, yada yada yada. Where's his batting average? 164. Okay. That's not too bad for a September call-up, but let's look at his minor and fall league stats. Or let's just look at his minor league stats for now. So, according to Baseball America, pre-2016, rated number 11. According to MLB.com, number 40. And according to Baseball Prospect US, he is number 55. So, let's look at his 2015 stats. He played in 2 teams in 2016 and 2015. He played for Lancaster, which was in the California League, and he played for Corpus Christi, which is the Corpus Christi Hooks, the AA affiliate of the Houston Astros. So let's look at the 2015 stats. 135 games, 178 hits, batted .340 with 30 doubles, and 34 home runs, 127 RBIs. And it took him until 2016, late that season, to get called up. Even in 2016 in Fresno, in the PCL, which is the Pacific Coast League, in AAA, batted .291 with 15 home runs over 70 games, and had 76 hits, 22 of them being doubles. I think I would have called up. I think once I saw his 15 homers, I think I would have called him up immediately. Because this guy has a lot of potential to be a superstar. So I won't be surprised if he gets called up anytime soon. Alright. Now, I know this guy isn't exactly a rookie. He pitched in 2016 and went 2015 and went 6-6. So, he's not really a rookie, but yet again, he's not really a veteran. So, he's been pitching for, this will be his 3rd year in the major leagues. And I'm talking about Aaron Nola. Now, Aaron Nola did have an injury for the Phillies in 2016, which did end his season, but I am still sort of convinced that he will become a good pitcher. Like I said, in his rookie year alone, he went 6-6. That ERA, he's gonna have to work on that, but the ERA is 3.59 in 2016 and 4.78 in 2015. But I'm sorry, that's the other way around. Yeah, so he is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In 2015, he had a 6-2 ERA with oh my gosh. I can't talk, okay? So 6-2 with a 3.59 ERA over 13 games, and he struck out 68 hitters. And in 2016, where the Phillies collapsed again, he was 6-9 with a 4.78 ERA, striking out 121 hitters. So kind of in the major leagues alone, you can kind of see that he's on a steady slope right now. He's not going to become a superstar in 1 or 2 years. I think it'll take him maybe until he's about 28 or 29, maybe 27, which is about in 4 years to get that. And at that time, he might not even be on the Phillies because he is arbitration eligible by 2019, and he is a free agent in 2022. So, in 2022, that is 5 years from now, so he'll be 28 in 2022, so he'll probably be on a different team, unless if the Phillies re-sign him 5 years in the future. I don't know, I don't have a 2022 vision. Yeah, that doesn't even work anymore. Like how? What do you think you'll be doing in 3 years? No, 3 years doesn't make any sense. 5 years is much more accurate. So now, I'll be saying, oh, I don't have 2022 vision. I should just stop talking. So, continuing on, Nola, it's gonna take him a few years before he becomes, an absolute beast. But it'll take him, it'll maybe take him 4 or 5 years. But once he does get there, I swear, there is no turning back. I think he'll be a great guy to see pitch in the MLB. So I'm going to be very excited to watch him pitch when it comes to just pretty much, just watching him pitch in the major leagues. Because I'm a Phillies fan myself, and I can definitely say that that from, watching Phillies games all the time, I can most certainly see that this guy's got some potential. He's got a nice curveball, he's got a nice fastball, he's got a nice changeup, he's got a nice everything. And I can definitely almost see the future that he's got a bright future ahead of him, which I can most certainly see is going to be a great future for him. Alright, I should stop babbling on here, as this podcast has now gone over 30 minutes. But anyways, it is the DingerNation Podcast, Episode 1, and as Baseball Noto 5 always says, which is me, I'm signing out for now, and I'll see ya. Darn it. It stopped recording. What the heck? Alright, there's the stop button. Okay.